Hello Aquarius, hello and welcome into your general tarot card reading for March of 2019. Aquarius, this is a general read, so take out of it what you will. Moreover, I read those cards intuitively. So Aquarius, you have very interesting cards, and actually the month of March appears to be like a month of growth for you, but growth in terms of knowing what isn't that you want and actually being able to look at certain things from different perspective, understand there's a need for you to reevaluate some of them and to have a courage to be you, to follow your inner drives and actually to make some choices and decisions. And because this little stone over there is representing a rune, and this rune is called Akena or Keno, whichever pronunciation we're going to use. Basically, this is talking about opening fire. It's a getaway. Quite often it's symbolized by the torch, and basically this rune is talking about the new opening and clarity, expulsion of the darkness. Some of the times, the darkness actually is covering or is obscuring the part of ourselves or part of our life. And this rune is talking about, because it's additional commentary to your reading and it's very strong actually, it's talking about that you should be really free, and that's where the strength and the Three of Wands and the Three of Cups is talking about. You should be free to experience joy and giving. And this is talking about clarity and understanding what is important. And this is the most amazing, because this is all about the clarity. And even though the Kano kind of is additional commentary, you have the Star, and Star is talking about the clarity. And the Ten of Wands is talking about sometimes that you might not see the wood from the trees. So this is all about the clarity and releasing yourself and making yourself free to accommodate new things in your life. And I think, Aquarius, it's overall it's a beautiful message, because that's what those cards are talking about. So let me do a deep dive into those cards so I can kind of explain them a little bit more in detail for you. So when it comes to Star is representing this idea of we all have our inner knowledge, we all have our inner understanding, and Aquarius, to a certain degree, in astrology, you are linked with the star. You being linked with that star, and the star has a number 17, and 17, 1 plus 7 is representing 8, and 8 you have with strength, you have an 8, because 8 is about the balance, it's about things coming together, it's representing harmony, it's representing putting things into the balance, into the harmony. And because you have those two major arcana, this is indication of you understanding and seeing what is it that you have to do in order to overcome certain situations. Also, Star might be indicating the healing, the promise, the peace. Star is also telling you, Aquarius, that you don't really see yourself for who you are. And by the way, I'm not going to go deeper into the symbolism. I was about to. The Star is naked, so Star is vulnerable. Star is doing something that is impossible. She's standing on the water, but she does not see her reflection, because the reflection is distorted by pouring out that water. The water might be emotions, but also water might be representing the constant searching, constant doing. And that very much speaks to Ten of Wands. But before I'm going to proceed, something just hit me very strongly. Actually, this is talking about you not getting in your own way. So you might be overthinking certain things, or you'll be too sensitive to certain things. And I think the Star in this particular case is talking about understanding our life journey, but to understand that our own attitudes, our hopes, and our ways of how we choose to be and how we live our lives and how we treat ourselves and others, they kind of determine our destination. And I think the Star, I heard in my I heard it is all about understanding that the journey and destination, there's no such a thing as a final destination. Life is a journey, and you have different stops along the journey. It's ongoing. So it's not about driving toward the destination, it's about enjoying the journey overall. And I think because of that, and because the Star is talking about the 8 is also talking about equilibrium, and you have a strength representing the equilibrium. Once again, the equilibrium comes very, very strong here. So whatever is happening here, so this is kind of this is all about realizing where your potential is, where you can go, understanding your, for one, understanding your potential and understanding your emotions. But I would say this is all about almost like finding the purpose. It's about overcoming, because the Star comes quite often after the Tower, and Tower is quite often representing the spirit of turmoil. So it's almost, you have to come to the terms with physical doing and emotional being. And if you do, if the thing's going to come together, there's going to be possibility of fresh beginnings in your life. That's what is coming with the Star. And also the Star is talking about knowing what is it that you want. And with the Ten of Wands, I don't really think you do, because Ten of Wands, Ten of Wands might be, for one, indication of new beginnings. Ten of Wands might be talking about, because it's 10 is 1 and 0, so 0 is implifying the one, the need for the new and the beginning. And it's something I heard, the cycle has to finish, but because you might have or some of you might be too frantically wanting to drive things towards the completion over here, you might not see the woods from the trees, and you might be overburdened. You might be not knowing which way you're going. There might be lack of clarity. There might be too much might be going on. And with the Ten of Wands in particular, what is very interesting, because it's representing this, physical overburden, and kind of sometimes it's to do with selfishness, but this is not about the selfishness. This is all about almost this fear of losing something. There's a fear of losing something. It might be talking about overcommitting yourself. That's for one. But what I would say in particular, apart from addressing, maybe your workload, and maybe you might feel that you're overburdened and you're overcommitted, this is more than this, because there's no such a thing as positive and negative. I see 10 of, for one hand, gaining something, driving towards completion, and King of Wands is talking about that. And also the Ten of Wands might be representing this material success and rewards coming with it. But there is something else that is talking about this idea of putting yourself in a harm's way in order to achieve something. This is talking about driving yourself too hard, not knowing when to stop. And because of that, the Ten of Wands, because that person is kind of holding to those wands, they don't see what is ahead of them. It's representing this need to reassess your plans and options here, Aquarius. You have to. You might need to reorganize yourself before proceeding further, and that is, it's King of Wands and Strength is talking to the same tune actually here. This is, for some of you, you might feel like you have there's something to do with the debt being paid. It's talking about the balancing the personal life with the work. Sometimes it's about talking about balancing the personal love with the universal love, this sort of thing. But what I would say to you in this particular case, this is all about the new beginnings, but those new beginnings, they need a change. And they need a change in terms of the way how you're going to address things. So the old ways, they're the old ways. In order, it's you know how it feels, like you have to, whatever cycle is coming to the end, things has to be looked at. Things, they cannot be in a way how they are. The King of Wands might be representing someone, literal person, someone who is very driven, but King of Wands might be representing quite often trial by fire, completion by the trial of fire. And in order to do it, you need the strength and courage to do it. And that's why you have the strength, because strength is representing the control. The inner strength is representing this endurance, this courage, this patience that is needed, self-control. And actually is to address the situation, to see, and sometimes for some of you, you're going to speak about your drive, your ambitions, and it's talking about the success. So this is all about looking inwards in order to understand where you would like to go further. And that is a very, very interesting thing. And because you have that strength and you have that strong indication of balance that's coming from the star, that's coming from Keno, this rune, and the strength. So this is all about finding different way of doing things. How you're going to do them a little bit differently. It's talking about you finding this new type of patience, and how you're going to deal with the frustration, and how you're going to find yourself more tolerant and more accepted on other people's imperfection, including oneself. So that's what the strength is talking about. And in order to assume the leadership or take the lead, it's all about being in control of your own self instincts and inhibitions. So I really like this, because this is very interesting, and sometimes the strength might be the strength might be saying, I'm with the King of Wands, so meaning that's going to be a person who's going to kind of tell you, look, Aquarius, you cannot go on this way. Certain things, they have to be addressed, and certain things has to be changed. And the strength might be amplifying the King of Wands over here, but equally that might be coming from yourself. So this is a general reading, so I cannot say for sure, but equally there is something about, and I heard it, it's about changing your own tune, changing your own attitude, and being and having more. It's not about you being resilient. This is not about you being resilient or you it's almost you. It's the mind of the matter, basically. What I'm hearing is the mind of the matter. It's about balancing your intellectual and emotional powers. And this is all about you looking for positive outcomes, because you want to find the way how you can, in proactive and constructive way, address certain things. And that's what is coming through. And this is very, very strong. It asks you to be proactive. It asks you the strength. If that is the King of Swords, if that is that person, combined with the strength, is going to home in that message, taking on board, because they're actually well-meaning. And if that is deed coming from you, this is about you overcoming situation by understanding this is not about either or. It's about blending. And that's what the High Priestess is talking about, because she sings to the same tune. She sings to the tune of the middle way. It's not either and or. But I think you're going to find it, because the High Priestess is amplifying the star. She's talking about you going to see things for what they are. The final puzzle of whatever is happening is going to fall into the place. You're going to see it, because High Priestess is talking about this ability to see through the veil, to the degree, because that's what she's talking about. She's, once again, it's another thing, I heard balance once again. So this is about readdressing the balance. It's intuition, it's reaction, it's response. The High Priestess might be talking about the response. And the response, because she's holding the scroll, there might be a letter, there might be something that's coming your way. And in your gut, you're going to know what it is. But I think she's also talking about something that is going to arrive into your life. And she's talking about she's two, so she's element of, she represents this duality, that this is talking about finding this middle way, basically. And moreover, for some of you, you're going to have a very vivid dreams. For some of you, your psychic powers, you're going to have that inner knowing, and you're going to see things how they could be in the future. You're going to see them. And for some of you, you're going to have like those psychic moments, because the Queen of Wands is telling me that you're going to look at something in a split moment. You're going to know what this is all about. You're going to know, but the thing is, you're not going to listen. And the question is, why you're not going to listen? It's your call, Aquarius. Nobody can force you to to listen to your inner gut, but that's what I'm hearing. It's to listen, because that's very interesting, because you have those cards merging. The King of Wands and Strength are merging to the one, and actually High Priestess and Queen of Wands that are also merging to the one, with the Empress as well. Because what I'm getting, and what is coming very, very strong, you're going to be able to see something that is beneath the surface. And because the Queen of Wands have that cat, and cat, he's the best friend of the so-called wise women, aka witches. Cats, they're very in tune. Cats, they can sense things coming, and that's what you're going to be as well. And both the High Priestess, the Queen of Wands, and the Empress, they're talking you, and they're asking you to see the larger picture, to not become caught in a detail. Either when it comes to the project or situation, have a bigger picture. Like this cats, they have a nocturnal vision, they can see. So the High Priestess is about the intuition, and Empress is about the growth in this particular case, but that's asking you to overcome certain things, to not be too fixated above little things. So that was coming, and I think your intuition, your dreams, your fantasies, whatever going to happen, they're going to be extremely, extremely potent, very potent. And you might have this, you know, there might be a period where you're going to have a lot of ideas, new plans going to start formulating. And I like it, and I really like it. I think that's amazing. So whatever it's happening here, with the High Priestess, what she's talking about, that, and actually the Empress is talking about it as well. It's about need for a firm decision to be made as well. So there's going to be something that's going to need your firm decision. And you would have to recognize, once again, this is neither either or. I heard it again, this isn't about either or, it's about the third way. And the Empress is representing number 3. So it's the third way. You have a 3 of Wands representing third option, you have a 3 of Cups representing 3. So you have a more choice than either and or, basically. And that was what is coming. And this is very strong. So when it comes to the Queen of Wands and the Empress, basically they're talking about something that is going to be in flux, movement, development. It's going to be representing this idea of growth. There's strong indication of success or some kind of achievement that can be taken further and being celebrated. And this is reflected in both 3 of Wands and 3 of Cups. So the overall message here with the 3 of Cups and Cancer is to focus on things that how to put it to the best possible way, because 3 of Cups in you know, for some of you, because you have the Empress and the Empress and you have the High Priestess, they might be talking about the pregnancy, so you might have that as well, but whatever is happening, you should be focusing on being optimistic, on the growth, celebration. There's something to do with the pledge of or oath, and that will be with that decision-making process, and this decision sits with the High Priestess and the 3 of Wands and the Empress as well. But I would say also it's about the happy unions and bright blessings, so you should be really focusing on this, and especially with this rune that is talking about having the clarity. The 3 of Wands is going to give you that clarity, because he's standing on the cliff and he has the clarity he can see. So with the Empress and the 3 of Wands, you're going to have that clarity, you're going to have a better understanding. And that is a very interesting combination when it comes to those cards, because when it comes to those 3 of Wands, they are representing the cooperation. So there's once again something to do with the union, the new beginnings, optimism, good luck, trade, commerce. So for some of you, whatever firm decision has to be made, when you're going to make that decision and realize that you have more options that you thought you had, there's going to be some kind of phase when things are going to kind of form and develop, and they're going to take a certain form. So things that they're going to be on, they might not be precisely per se, I would say, defined, but they're going to take in shape. They're going to take shape, and because the 3 of Wands is seed of life, and once again, there might be pregnancy here with the Empress, the 3 of Wands and the 3 of Cups. It's very possible that there might be, you know, because this also is talking about the birth or self-expression. This is something is formulating, something is happening, and it's talking about 3 of Wands, talking about with the Empress over here is talking about new possibilities, and those new possibilities going to be revealed to you, and they were not previously apparent. So you see, this is seeing this third option, this is seeing this other ways, and it's just talking about, it's amazing growth, Aquarius, and I'm loving it because this is going to give you the larger picture. Once again, Three of Wands is talking about this larger picture. The High Priestess is talking about the larger picture, not focusing on the small things. Look at it from the wider perspective. And you're going to discover whatever is happening here is just a beginning, it's not the end. I love it. That's beautiful. So, so there is a potential. There's a potential for something new taking place. And once again, there's something about the community, or it's something about union or cooperation going together. This goes very, very, very strong. For some of you, with those 4 cards below, the High Empress, the Queen of Wands, the Empress, and Three of Wands and Three of Cups, and also the King of Wands and Strength. I'm getting a good friend. There's someone who will be willing to help you, assist you. Once again, this is coming through, you see, because that's someone who was, like I told you, the King of Wands and the Strength, they kind of were merging together. And there's, once again, there's this message about the cooperation. And this is about planting the seeds of growth. I love it. And success. There's something about growth and success. There might be indication of choosing the right partner. And when I say right partner, I mean there might be business partner. There might be right type of job. There might be... it's almost right things that... like things that are formulating and they coming together nicely. And that's I have that very strong feeling of. Very, very strongly. So whatever is happening here, Aquarius, I'm loving it. This is a beautiful energy, and basically this is this opportunity, and the best way how I can describe it, for most of you, this is foretelling the opportunity by setting a new course in life, knowing it's not either or, it's not black and white, so many shades to choose from. So, Aquarius, I hope you're going to have an immensely smashing month. Stay tuned, and bye for now. If this reading has resonated with you, please like, comment and subscribe to my channel. If you would like to book a private reading with me, please feel free to go to my website www.tarotwithmishka.co.uk, or alternatively you can email me at mishka@tarotwithmishka.co.uk. If you would like to find me on Facebook, just simply type in Tarot with Mishka. I would like to say a massive thank you for tuning in, and bye for now.